Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, once seen as Hollywood's golden couple, are now facing growing scrutiny as fans question whether their marriage is as perfect as it appeared. After recent events, many believe cracks are starting to show, with Ryan's trademark humor, long known for playful roasting, now being re-examined as potentially masking low-key resentment. Fans have begun dissecting his jokes, noting that Blake often seems to be the punchline rather than an equal partner. And one resurfaced clip, in which Ryan joked about using Blake as a human shield, has especially unsettled people. What once felt like harmless banter is now giving many uncomfortable vibes, prompting questions about what's really going on behind the scenes. Adding fuel to the fire, Taylor Swift has been pulled into the controversy, with claims that her involvement in the Blake Lively situation was far deeper than expected, and that even distancing herself may not be enough to escape the fallout. As fans peel back the layers, they're left wondering whether this marriage and the friendships tied to it are heading toward a breaking point rather than the fairy tale ending everyone once believed in.
Take a bullet for you. I could never love anything as much as I love you. I would say that to my wife, and then the second I looked in that baby's eyes, I knew in that exact moment that if we were ever under attack, I would use my wife as a human shield to protect that baby.
And it doesn't stop there. Fans have noticed a clear pattern of Ryan Reynolds publicly downplaying Blake Lively, even on moments that should be about her, like her birthday. Instead of posting something sweet or heartfelt, he infamously tweeted, "Just wanted to wish Billy Ray Cyrus the most special, magical birthday ever. I love you with all my heart. Also, happy birthday, Blake," on Blake's actual birthday, making her feel like an afterthought rather than his wife. Social media rightfully dragged him for it, and now people are connecting the dots, suggesting Ryan may have a history of needing to be the bigger star in his relationships. He was previously married to Scarlett Johansson, and rumors claimed he struggled with the fact that she was equally successful. With Blake, fans believe he prefers to be seen as the funny, cool leading man, while she's pushed into the role of the supportive sidekick. Adding even more fuel to the fire is the Justin Baldoni situation, where an ongoing legal battle has sparked speculation about deeper personal tensions, with whispers that Ryan allegedly threw a major tantrum tied to conflicts involving Blake, leaving many to wonder how much more is happening behind the scenes. Justin Baldoni allegedly got too close for Ryan Reynolds' comfort, especially during the time Ryan was filming Deadpool and Wolverine, and ever since then, the streets have been talking. Whether Blake Lively and Ryan are actually heading toward a split or just dealing with serious tension, one thing is clear. This relationship no longer looks like #couple goals, and fans can sense that something is off behind the scenes. At the same time, Blake's so-called second dragon, and now former friend, Taylor Swift, has found herself deeply entangled in Baldoni's lawsuit. Taylor publicly stepped back from her friendship with Blake after realizing her name was tied to the It Ends With Us saga all the way to court, but many believe she is far from an innocent bystander. The receipts suggest Taylor was involved from the very beginning, and now that pressure is mounting, she appears to be in full damage control mode, carefully distancing herself so Blake and Ryan absorb the backlash, a classic PR move that so far seems to be working as media outlets bend over backward to keep her name clean. Still, when you follow the breadcrumbs, the timing of the smear campaign, Blake being subtly sidelined, the risky media coverage, and the escalating legal drama, they all lead back to Taylor. At the same time, the cracks in Blake and Ryan's marriage are becoming harder to ignore, lining up eerily well with these battles. Public birthday snubs, sarcastic digs masked as jokes, lingering jealousy from past relationships, and mounting tension surrounding Baldoni. While Taylor expertly manages optics and wields influence without appearing directly involved, Blake and Ryan are left exposed, fueling what now looks like a perfect storm of marital strain, legal chaos, and calculated media maneuvering, turning what once seemed like a close friendship into a tangled web of power, PR strategy, and fallout that even fans can't ignore. At the end of the day, the picture is becoming impossible to ignore. Blake Lively's marriage to Ryan Reynolds, her ties to Taylor Swift, and her carefully crafted public image are all under intense scrutiny, revealing just how quickly power and influence can shift in Hollywood. What once looked polished and untouchable now feels like full-blown scandal territory. When you rewind, it's clear Blake and Ryan didn't just throw subtle shade at Justin Baldoni, they went all in. And this is where many believe Taylor Swift's fingerprints may be present. Taylor is famously known for planting hidden messages, clues, and inside references for fans to decode, from sneaky credit changes to fake names that turn her audience into detectives. So people are questioning whether it's really a coincidence that something similar appears in the It Ends With Us credits, where the name Gordon Reynolds shows up in the special thanks section. That name seems meaningless until you cross-check it with Deadpool credits, where the same alias is used, tying it back to the controversial Nice Pool character, widely believed to be a thinly veiled mockery of Justin Baldoni. While the character itself was reportedly conceived earlier, sources claim the scenes involving Nice Pool were filmed late in production, after the November 2023 SAG-AFTRA strike ended, conveniently lining up with Blake and Justin's fallout. To many, it looks like Baldoni's own project was used against him in a calculated, almost theatrical way, reaching a level of pettiness fans are calling Olympic tier, all while the trio were still publicly spending time together, making the entire situation feel even more calculated and unsettling. During a time when Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's tensions were reportedly at their peak, Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and Taylor Swift were still frequently seen together, which only fueled speculation that Taylor may have encouraged the use of her signature Easter egg tactics to subtly shade Baldoni, something many believe explains how the name Gordon Reynolds ended up in the It Ends With Us credits. Adding to the suspicion, Taylor heavily promoted Deadpool and Wolverine on Instagram as if it were her own project, praising Ryan and calling the film a joy portal, all while the movie allegedly contained hidden jabs at Baldoni through the controversial Nice Pool character. To critics, the entire situation reeks of Mean Girls energy, with growing claims about Blake's cold demeanor and main character behavior, suggesting that Blake and Taylor became too wrapped up in their own cinematic universe and forgot that real-life actions carry real consequences. Taylor, far from naive, is widely seen as someone who understands power, timing, and media manipulation very well, and many believe this situation is no exception, even if Swifties continue to accept the polished headlines. What makes this more serious is that Justin Baldoni now plans to use those Deadpool scenes as evidence in court, with his attorney, Brian Friedman, already sending letters to Disney and Marvel requesting preservation of all materials related to Baldoni and the creation of Nice Pool, which he claims was used to mock him. With an official court date set for March 2026, this drama is no longer just internet gossip, but a legally unfolding battle, and many believe Blake may eventually push for a settlement given the amount of damaging material circulating. As fans and insiders dissect every post, credit change, and public comment, what began as playful jabs has spiraled into a full-blown Hollywood scandal involving lawsuits, media power plays, and shifting alliances, raising one big question: how far will Ryan and Taylor go to protect themselves, and who will ultimately be left to take the fall as this high-stakes saga continues to unravel?